Satan cured my cancer. Now I wish I was dead. Part 6. By Richard Saxon. I had just agreed to betray Satan, stabbing him in the back with a dagger I had received from a most suspicious source. "I need a plan," I said. Michael looked at me, a sinister smile appearing on his face. "Well, you've come to the right place for that." A part of me regretted saying yes only a minute after doing so. In fact, most of me regretted everything I had ever done at that point. "The key you have, it opens doors into different pocket dimensions. You're going to need to use that after you stab Satan. He won't enter, neither will his demons." "Why would I escape if I'm just going to stab him anyway?" "Because you'll need to hide while his demons and minions look for you. If they kill you, they can get the dagger and they can bring Satan back." "Oh, great. So when you meet Satan, be sure it's in a place with several doors you can check, because the pocket dimensions are random, and some are quite lethal." "Yeah, I've seen what they can do. Poor Jeremy. He was a good friend, Mommy. Well, we all gotta meet our markers at some point, so I guess I'm ready for this." I stood up to leave, trying my best to conceal the dagger under my jacket. Should Satan still be outside, I could just get it over with and drive back into Michael's house, hidden in a very well-crafted dimension. Oh, just one thing as I pulled out the butter knife I had been given in my collector's kit. What is this even for? Upon seeing the knife, Michael burst into laughter, clearly recognizing the weird satanic artifact. "That's the same butter knife Satan gave me on my first mission. It doesn't do anything, it's just his idea of a joke." A fucking bastard. What else could I have expected? My car was parked outside and the devil was nowhere to be found. Of course, the box was still in the back seat, my only true, faithful companion on this journey. The drive home was long, the GPS, possessed by Satan, no longer functioned, and I wasn't familiar with the area. All the while I felt a knot in my stomach. What I was about to do felt wrong, not only from a moral standpoint, but from a personal one. It took a full day to arrive home, and by the time I did, it was night once more. I was currently on the 4th happiness pill, and I could now think back on my adventures with something I hadn't felt in a long time. Pride. As I returned home, I saw Satan sitting in a beach chair on my front lawn, wearing shorts and a Hawaiian shirt, while holding a fancy cocktail with one of those tiny umbrellas in it. My hands shook as I contemplated my next few steps. I hadn't yet mentally prepared myself to strike. "Satan, you're here," I said as nonchalantly as I could muster. "Well, you must have 20/20 vision or something." Typical sarcastic response for him. I reached my hand behind my back, keeping the concealed dagger ready should he try something. "What's up with the outfit?" I asked. "Well, you see, it's quite warm in hell, so I thought I'd dressed for the occasion, seeing as you're about to betray me and send me back." I let the dagger go in shock. My voice started to tremble. "What?" Satan stood up from the chair and threw his drink away. His clothes were lit on fire and morphed into his trademark suit as he walked towards me. "I'm very disappointed in you," he said. I was slowly walking back, once again clutching the dagger. "Did you really think I wouldn't find out about your little deal with Michael Finch?" I pulled out the dagger and pointed it towards Satan. It didn't faze him, he just kept walking towards me. "Well, this is your chance, old friend. What are you waiting for?" My hand was shaking out of control, every fiber of my being trying to act upon conflicting emotions. It had come too far not to end this. "You don't have what it takes," he taunted. He was right. I dropped the dagger to the ground and stood motionless, awaiting my punishment. Satan chuckled as he picked up the dagger. "Oh, I remember making this," he said. "I spread a rumor that it would actually kill me. You morons." He proceeded to stab himself in the abdomen, pretending he was committing seppuku while shouting some Japanese phrase. The dagger shattered into 1,000 pieces. I didn't know what to say. I simply stood in shock, waiting for whatever came next. Satan stared at me. There was no joy in his eyes, not even the mischievous look he usually had. He pulled something out from his inner jacket pocket. I flinched. An envelope. As soon as you hand this over to Michael Finch, you can consider your contract terminated. Then you can do whatever you want. During the moment I glanced at the envelope, he had disappeared without a trace. I didn't hesitate to follow orders. I drove back to Michael's house once more. All the while I felt a heavy burden of guilt. I knocked on his door and showed him the envelope to the camera. His name was written in silver text on the front. "What happened?" he asked as he opened the door. He fucking knew what I was planning. Of course he did. What was I thinking? I slumped down on his couch, just handing him the letter. "What's this?" he asked. No idea. Michael ripped the letter open in a second and started reading. After a brief silent pause, he dropped the letter. I'm free," he said. "What?" Without a word, he left the living room. I picked up the letter and started reading, but before I could even get halfway, I heard a loud explosion of a shotgun going off. I ran after Michael, but it was already too late. He lay on the floor in a pool of his own blood, half his face blown to pieces. I didn't call for help. I knew there would be no point. I simply walked back into the living room and picked up the letter. "Michael, old sport. You've been hiding quite successfully for the past few years. I'm equally impressed and disappointed. You have made it hard for me to contact you, which quite frankly is a bit moronic. I just wanted to tell you that our contract ended ages ago. Your wife is dead by her own hands, not mine, which concludes our business. My condolences and good luck on your future endeavors. Lucifer." Michael was free and chose to end his life, but with that I was also relieved of my duty. My contract had ended and I was left with a bunch of pills that could bring back my happiness, cancer-free. All was good in the world. Satan never lied to us. Even through our betrayal, he remained a creature of his word. Certainly he's an asshole, but a necessary one, to keep the evils of this world in check. Thank you all for being with me throughout this crazy journey. I had been given a second chance at life and I have no clue what to do. I doubt I will lose more memories. My mind just feels restored somehow. I will try to boil an egg now, so there's that. But I have to do one last thing before I can be at peace. I have to find Satan again, and I have to tell him I'm sorry.